I tend to do a lot of things last minute. I study last minute. I finish projects at the last minute. And every Halloween, my FOMO kicks in. And I end up doing something last minute. FOMO's not exactly a good thing, but I know without it, I wouldn't have a social life. So I'm grateful for all the last minute costumes and parties and photos I managed to squeeze into. And then, as we all know, the pandemic happened. So if I used to be lazy and have FOMO, now I'm just lazy. And I also live with the biggest introvert I know, who also happens to be a way bigger fan of Christmas. So last year, once again, I had no motivation to celebrate Halloween. But then Gabe, the guy who hasn't done anything for Halloween since freshman year of high school, wanted to celebrate. Finally. All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to party and then watch me suffer the next day? Or do you want to dress up and then take candy from strangers? Those are our only two options, right? I was thinking we could buy candy and then give it away. Huh? Okay, I'll be honest. I always thought that people with kids are the ones who gave away candy on Halloween because they're trying to teach them that whatever comes around goes around. Candy's not free. There is no such thing as free candy. You got that? Except on Halloween. But really, anyone can give out candy on Halloween. It doesn't have to be people with kids. You know what? We can do this, but we gotta do it right. So I made a plan. I suck at plans. But my plan pretty much went like, decorate the house, decorate the outside of the house, buy chocolate bars, try not to eat half of it, and finally we give them away on Halloween. In our costumes, of course, which we're still deciding on. Seems like a lot, but I think we can do it. So we started decorating as soon as possible, and then it took us a week just to decorate the inside of the house. And then once we were done, we were done. Change of plans. Wait, so you're not giving away candy anymore? Yeah, no. We spent a whole week decorating the house. We're gonna enjoy it. We never ended up picking a costume either. So we just wore our Christmas sweaters and stayed home while pretending that we weren't home and soaking up the spirit that way. And it was working. But suddenly someone rang our doorbell. We didn't even bother answering the door because the only thing we were expecting on the night of Halloween was an Amazon package. So we waited a bit for him to drop off the package and leave, but for some reason he rang the doorbell again. Like, okay, we're coming, but something was telling me that was not the Amazon guy. Now, normal people who aren't wearing Christmas sweaters on Halloween would just open the door. But thankfully, we have a door cam for situations like these. You know, situations where there are trick-or-treaters at your door on Halloween. But why? I don't know. So should we just open the door just to tell them we don't have candy? Or do we just keep pretending we're not home and wait for them to leave? Yeah, sounds good to me. But I took another look at the door cam, and I saw how cute they were. I didn't think of this before, but technically, you can just give away snacks that you already have at home. So I grabbed a handful and ran to the door, but they had already left. And that was when my FOMO kicked in. But let's not forget I'm still lazy. So Gabe showed up with an empty tray. I guess it's better than nothing. And just like that, I was alive again. We started the tray with about 2 half bagfuls of Jolly Ranchers, and then added all the other loose candies that we snack on, like Japanese Kit Kats, these, and some of these. It doesn't look the best, but it tastes good. And therefore, we thought it would be okay if we also just dump in the 50 fortune cookies that we have at home. Oh, wow. You guys must really like fortune cookies, huh? I didn't even know people actually bought fortune cookies to snack on. I just assumed people get them only when they get takeout. Yeah. Okay, I'll admit we ate a lot of takeout last year. And the restaurant always assumes there's like 3 to 4 people eating each time. So we always kept the extras instead of throwing them away. So long story short, this is our tray of shame. But today, it's free candy for the neighborhood. And then we just went back in the house in shame and watched to see if anyone takes anything. What we ended up learning was that people were willing to take anything. I mean, I always thought that Halloween would put everyone's trust issues on full display. I was definitely overthinking. About an hour later, my Amazon order had arrived, so we finally opened the door. Since we can't actually see the candy tray from our camera, we didn't even know that it was almost empty. We were actually just about to make the setup a little bit more inviting, but it seems like it's already time to take everything in and call it a night. No! I still had FOMO. I mean, don't you feel the Halloween spirit inside of you now? I guess refill. Yeah, refill! Let's see what other things people are willing to take. Especially now that it's mostly teenagers trick-or-treating. They're notorious for eating anything. So we found some stray fortune cookies, and I wanted to put in my keto bars. They basically have no sugar in them, which kind of defeats the purpose of Halloween, but it's chocolate. And Gabe got out his favorite treats, which is hot chocolate. And we thought this was the best candy tray of all time. Who doesn't love hot chocolate, especially going into Christmas? Oh wait, I know. People on keto. This time, instead of going back indoors just to do nothing, we decided to put on our jackets and take a stroll around the neighborhood. Oh, and yes, these are actually bunny ears that I had lying around the house. So we walked to the end of our driveway and turned around to see what our candy setup looked like from afar. But the only thing we could notice was the garage lights were on, which we never even knew was on. Okay, so that means they were on the whole time. Well, that explains the first 3 trick-or-treaters. You know, the really cute ones that we disappointed? Yeah, I'll have you know they were even cuter in person when we walked by them on our walk and realized, oh, they don't recognize us. That's why they don't know why we're staring. But damn, people put a lot of effort for Halloween.
And the weather was especially warm that year.
People's costumes weren't covered up in jackets like all the other years, and we had to expose that we were wearing Christmas sweaters underneath ours. But it was dark out, so only we knew.
And that concludes the story of what we did last year for Halloween. Hopefully everybody got good fortunes, enjoyed their hot chocolates, and if you accidentally bit into a keto bar thinking it was a regular chocolate bar, sorry I tricked you, but not sorry. Maybe you should just inspect your candy more closely this year. Anyway, happy Halloween everyone, and thanks for staying until the end. So here's a treat.